Things are not looking good for Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, the anime. It really does not look good. This is honestly turning out to be one of those productions that has both the best and the worst that you expect from the anime industry. But yes, episode 5 of Zom 100 has been delayed. Yes, you heard right. Even after following the 1-day delay of the last episode, now we have a week delay. Things aren't looking good for this series, honestly, and let's face it, I think most people that are trying to keep at least semi-informed on the anime industry, you probably expected this a long time ago. I think I was stating at the point of episode 1 that this isn't good. Like, I was already seeing flags from episode 1 that things might not turn out good. And that was mainly because when I was looking into Zom 100 and who was adapting it, I'm like, okay, this is a new studio. This PV looks really good. I watch episode 1 and I'm like, okay, everything in the PV was in episode 1. Something's not right. For those who don't know, there's essentially 2 different directions that technically 3. There's 3 different ways that a production can happen for an anime series. One is where they fully adapt the anime long before it even starts actually airing. Then the second route you have is where they get like a good 4 episodes into production before it starts airing. That way, each week that it releases, they're releasing something that's been completed already, and they'll probably finish full production probably 3 weeks before the season ends. Then you have the probably most toxic route of producing an anime, where you maybe only have 3 episodes at most produced before it starts airing. And thus you're crunching every single week to get the next episode out because you used all of your buffer basically. And that's unfortunately we're seeing with Zom 100. So yes, that's a long way for me to say that the fact that they only had episode 1 clips for the PV showed me they probably only had the first episode done way back here. At most, I would expect they probably had 2 episodes ready before first episode aired. Then yes, that's when the second episode came. And that's where the fears started to multiply. Shaft helped them with episode 2, which yes, Shaft was a part of the production group, so it makes sense. But this is supposed to be their project. They're supposed to be adapting this. Why is Shaft having to handle an episode? And then yes, add on to that, the OP was literally nothing but clips from the first episode. There was like one little snippet where it shows the zombies running by, but that's just reusable cells. They can easily just run across the screen. This is not something they're adding anything amazing to this. So everything's starting to add up. And then we had episode 4 delayed by a day. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal. I mean, this happens. I mean, it happened with Gundam The Witch of Mercury. Sometimes there's just somebody didn't move something fast enough to a certain group. They couldn't get it up to streaming. They couldn't check it. They couldn't get it converted to their format for their streaming service. All that kind of stuff. But at least shows you that already right here, episode 4, we're already crunching. That's not a good thing. You have like 12 episodes to work with here, and you're already crunching at episode 4. Something's going wrong. And then yes, the final nail in the coffin is episode 5. We have a full week delay. Well, I'm sorry. let me correct. They haven't said we're delaying due to production issues. I'm sorry. Let me be perfectly clear. They're having a special program, and the episode 5 will be next week. Don't get it wrong. This is we can't make it on time, so let's get a bunch of people together to record a goofy live broadcast. The actual press release says on August 6th, we will broadcast a special program, Zom 100, special program, 100 things to prepare to escape from zombies. While conveying the charm of the TV series Zom 100, we will deliver a special class that seriously thinks about 100 things you want to prepare to escape from zombies. How to survive the world of zombies. In the program, while looking back at the anime scenes, we seriously consider what if a zombie pandemic really happened in this world. With Seiyus on board, we will give a serious talk with a zombie expert teacher about how to get out of a pinch in various situations where zombies are attacking and threatening your life. In addition, an interview with Kanabun, who's in charge of the opening theme. Zombie variety, please take a look. And yes, at the very bottom, oh yeah, by the way, episode 5 is postponed until next week. At the very bottom, in case you missed it, it's delayed. This is very unfortunate. Why I say at the very beginning, this is like the best and the worst of the anime industry in one show, just because honestly, I think the directors working on this are doing a phenomenal job. The animators are doing a phenomenal job. This show not only looks good, but it's presented very, very well. I mean, the first episode is, well, I feel like a lot of the Black Company aspects of it dragged out a bit too long. it had a great transition. The transition from the black and white, widescreen, to full screen and just going crazy with the colors and everything, the vibrancy, it nailed it. And him falling down and splattering things and all that kind of stuff looked so fantastic. They did an incredible job of that first episode. Second episode was a shrug for me. I honestly, to be truthful, was a shrug to me. I felt something was off with episode 2. I was like, we just came from episode 1 and this is not that great. Not that I expect animation-wise to keep up to the caliber of episode 1, because we could just transfer that over to the OP. No, it just felt like it was just pretty much reusing animation, reusing the scene and everything, which is a different perspective, and that's fine. It just, sometimes, unless it says something, that typically doesn't really affect me. Yes, what they were stating there was, yes, that this is the comparison between somebody that just wants to have fun and not really plan anything to somebody that plans everything. It's a prepper versus somebody that's just a free will. But honestly, episode 3 and episode 4 restored my hope. Like, episode 3 was a lot better. It was a lot better. It looked really good. Episode 4 was fantastic. There was so many great shots in episode 4. The whole motorcycle jumping over and the zombie exploding and smacking the guy in the head. It was all really, really good. I thought it looked fantastic. And then, yes, again, still having the directing on point with that entire episode. All the perspective shots. They really nailed so many of those scenes. Now, granted, for me personally, I felt like the big spoiler point at the very end of the episode wasn't very emotional, and I think that's partly to do with just the portrayal of the main character. I don't really feel like this series as a whole, while it does deal with some difficult themes here and there, I don't think it ever really wants to sit in it. This writer doesn't like to sit in dread. He likes to always kind of throw a punchline right in the middle of it to kind of go, okay, keep going, this is supposed to be fun. I know that something serious happened, but this is supposed to be fun. The main character, when he's just kind of running and bawling his eyes out, it feels like a cartoon character. So I immediately, my emotion for that scene is gone. It's like, okay, I don't feel it anymore. You already ruined the mood here. I felt like I was getting emotional here, but you just kind of ruined it. But again, I think that's too what they want. They want you to have fun, not get stuck in what just happened. That is really what a lot of the main character's about, is just kind of keep him moving forward. There's a lot of tragedy happening around him, but he's not really paying attention to it. If he looks over the side of the building down to a street, most people would probably go, holy crap, that's a bunch of dead people. That's tragic. It's not supposed to be that type of story. This isn't supposed to make you feel that. This one's supposed to be, oh, look at that zombie down here that farted and fell over and then farted again. That's this show. That's the theme. That's the feel of Zom 100. So they're nailing it. They're pulling off this show, and they're doing such an incredible job. But unfortunately, again, this is the negative impact. This is what happens when productions don't pre-plan properly. It's sometimes, yes, it's because the studio or somebody involved screwed up. But for the most part, it's because the production committee is going, okay, start on this date. And they go, wait, that's like 3 weeks before the shows start to air. Yep, get on it. That's not good planning. Somebody screwed up the planning here, and it's starting to show. And with it happening before the halfway point, I have fears this show is not going to make it to the end of the season. This is a show that I feel they're going to get halfway through it, and then they're going to go, sorry guys, see you in winter, see you in fall. That's the sucky part. And that's really tragic because, like I said, we need more zombie anime, and this is something that's just, it's got so much fun in it, and I'm having so much fun with it. I think we'll probably get episode 5. We'll probably get episode 6. And then I think you're going to see the big delay. My prediction right now is we'll get to episode 6, and then we're going to have the big delay. Because the unfortunate thing is, based on what I've read forward, it's only going to get more crazy from here. Like, every single chapter has some sort of crazy set piece. Every chapter is constantly with tons of things in the background. There is a lot of effort they're going to have to put in the show. This isn't your standard rom-com in a classroom where all they have to do is have the same backgrounds and just animate the character sitting in a desk. This is a show where there's a lot of things happening. I mean, shoot, there's this one segment where it's just this massive open area with tons of people. It's going to get only more difficult from here. And I feel like they're just not going to be able to pull it off if they're already seeing delays. But who knows, maybe if they start pulling Shaft into it more, or other studios, honestly, that's not like this is something that they're not used to. Maybe if they pull in a bunch of studios, they can really turn this out really quickly. But they could have done that last week, and studios aren't always available. They're doing their own thing sometimes, so. But anyhow, that's my thoughts on the Zom 100 delays. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below. Comment, let me know what you think of this whole situation. Is this heartbreaking to you? Are you like, well, I'm not watching it, so nothing. This is nothing to me. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button to get on my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Just think if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate it, but it does. And y'all take care.